The other day, I was watching two of my nieces playing around with each other. They were having so much fun and imagining that they could fly, or they were imagining that they were in a fight playing with swords, imaginary swords, and they were imagining that they were invisible. They were having so much time, and I was thinking, when do we lose that sense of enjoyment? When do most people lose that sense of being enough? So today's topic is I am enough. Do you remember back when you were little and people like your parents or teachers would ask you, what do you want to be when you grow up? And of course you would answer, I want to be a policeman, or a firefighter, or an astronaut, or a teacher. Or maybe you would just answer, I want to play video games all the time. Whatever your answer was, you were imagining all these possibilities. So what happened to that child who believed that they could be that person? And it wasn't just believing that they could be that person. They knew, that young person, that young child knew that they were enough to be that. As we get older, experiences and the people around us play a big part in us losing that sense of being enough. We start to lose that sense of being enough when we start getting bad grades in school. And if we have parents or people around us who don't understand that in order to be a future scientist, you don't need to get an A in PE. Or a future famous artist, you don't need an A in science. I understand, some parents will want to push their children to do and be the best that they can, but we don't realize that when we start to cut through and diminish their self-value, we don't see how that's going to affect them later on in life. Then we start to question, well, if I didn't get an A in science and my parents made me feel like a loser, then I must not be good enough to play in a sport and later on in a professional level. Or if we didn't get an A in science or in art or whatever it is, then I must not be good enough to get a scholarship. If I am not good in school, then I must not be good enough to be loved. If my parents, let's say for example, left me when I was a child, then I must not be good enough for anything. If I didn't get good grades in school, then I must not be good enough to run a company. If I didn't do well in school, if I didn't get A's, then I must not be good enough to be my own boss. Of course, that carries on into questioning everything about you. I'm not tall enough. I am not pretty enough. I am not smart enough. I am not talented enough to do anything. So what do you do to fix that? How do we come back from that? Let's say, of course, now we are older, into our 30s or 50s or 60s. So how do we fix that? How do we break through that barrier of feeling that you are not good enough to make more money? Or, of course, be loved or happy enough? How do we break through that? It's by changing that inner sense of being enough. That's where you start. Of course, we talk about, fear of failure in my last video. We have to change that feeling and sense of not being good enough. And how do we do that? Well, we have to start by saying, I am enough. Every single day, whether you're in the shower, on your way to work, and anytime you get a chance to, saying, I am enough. Write it and have it printed on your phone so that you see it. Set yourself reminders on your phone every morning and at night saying, I am enough. Put it up in your walls. Have it written on your mirror with a lipstick. Or have it just anywhere you can to remind yourself that you are enough. Breaking through that feeling of not being enough will take you so much further, faster in your goals. And if you've lost that way, start with just saying and feeling that you are enough to do anything you want to do. Let's say that you are at the top of your game and you don't need this reminder. That's fine. But do you have nieces, a mother, a sister, a friend, a brother, a boyfriend, a girlfriend who needs to hear this? Sometimes the people around us, they don't hear it enough that they are enough for you or for anybody. So you need to remind them that they are enough, because maybe that'll change their life completely. Sometimes when we go through things in our lives, it is because we don't feel like we are enough. And we need to remind ourselves, and sometimes we need to remind people that they are enough and that they will make it through. This reminder also came because it's International Women's Day this week. And seeing my nieces and my mom and my sister, of course, thinking, okay, fine, I may feel like I am enough, but do they feel and know that they are enough? Do these little girls know that they are enough to do anything that they want to do? Anything that they want to do, anything they want to accomplish, anything they want to be? Do they know at this young age? And am I reminding them that they are enough? They are enough to be good in school. They are enough to be loved by their parents, by their uncles and their grandparents. They are enough to do amazing things. So it's a good reminder, especially because, it's International Women's Day this week, to remind those girls out there who get bullied and ostracized, and remind them that they are enough. You need to remind yourself that you are enough to do anything that you want to do. And of course, this doesn't just apply to women. Men also go through things. And you have to believe that you are enough to do anything that you want to do. So again, remind yourself every single morning, I am enough. And I want you to say it out loud. It may feel a little bit weird and different to say I am enough. But when you do feel really weird saying I am enough, then you have to say it 100 times more to actually believe it, because your body, your mind is sensing that and rejecting that you are enough. When it feels awkward and weird to say I am enough to be loved, I am enough to be happy, I am enough to earn more money, I am enough to run my own business, I am enough to be my own boss, that's when your body's saying, it's contradicting yourself and saying no, you're not. That's when you actually have to push through and say it 100 times until you believe it. And whatever you tell your mind out loud, it believes. So because you've told yourself internally that you're not enough, it's already accustomed to that feeling that you are not enough. So you have to reprogram your mind so that it believes that you are enough, because you are. So start telling yourself every single day that you are enough. See it on the mirror, have it on your walls, have it on your computer, have it on your phone. You're on your phone every single day to check text messages or notifications or whatever it is, Netflix. Remind yourself that you are enough. Have it on your phone, just in big letters, I am enough. And say it out loud, I am enough, until you believe it. And amazing things are going to happen. But really tell yourself, I am enough. Repeat after me, I am enough. You didn't say it. I am enough. I am enough. Come on, one more time. I am enough. I am enough. I am enough. So practice that. I am enough. Practice that, and please let me know how that has helped you. Let me know when you have practiced this for a few weeks, again, print it out, have it in big letters, leave it in your room, on your phone, on your computer, on your mirror. Tell yourself every single day that you are enough. And let me know that hopefully that can help at least one person break through maybe that self-confidence that you're struggling with, or that feeling of not being enough, to be loved, to be happy, to be free. You can tell your mind to do whatever it is that you want. So tell your mind that you are enough every single day until you believe it and accomplish great things. Alright, you guys, I just wanted to make this quick little video to remind yourself that you are enough. Maybe you haven't heard it in a while, but I am just here to remind you that you are enough to do anything that you want, to be happy, to be loved, to earn more money, to do whatever you want to do. Alright, you guys, please let me know in the comments below what you guys thought about this topic. And if you guys do practice this already, please let me know how that has helped you in your life. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.